This adoption story for us has so many pieces and parts to it that it's hard to figure out where to start for me. I've been going to mission trips for 8+ years and leading them, and just felt like we were at an age in our life that our children were getting older, and you were going to be able to retire soon, and I just felt like I would do more mission work. And one particular trip to Haiti about 3.5 years ago, our daughters, who have talked about having a sibling for years, basically just begged us to. They were like, we don't think you're ready to be empty nesters, and y'all need to think about adopting. We sat down as a family and decided, well, maybe we should see what God says about it.
Once we decided to pursue the process, after getting the paperwork, after seeing the financials of it, I backed off. I was not for the adoption immediately, and God and I had a heart-to-heart a day or two after that. And I'm like, okay, God, let's do this. So we were pumped and excited. Fast forward around 3 years. The time of waiting, the number of times we had to go back and do paperwork, the number of times that they said you haven't completed something, the number of times they wanted another check, the multiple times of being in the dark just really caused us to struggle, not question our faith. Our faith is not wavered in God. Our faith did waver in the process. From one circumstance to another, we just kept getting delayed and delayed and delayed. And it was tough to walk the walk because we had a boy that was waiting on us, but yet he was not allowed to come to us.
That was hard. That was very hard, because once you're matched and you know who your child is, you fall in love. But there was a point where I had to believe in my heart and tell God, if something happened, if Stevenson never gets here, will I still trust you? And I had to make that decision. But I do remember we were at the Carrollton campus, and Justin did a sermon when we were there, and he really spoke into the fact that just because God calls you to do something, it doesn't mean it's going to be easy. He doesn't mean that it's going to go easy. It's not going to cost you something financially and or just your family. A verse for me that has helped me through this process and is continuing to help me is just a promise that I needed from God, and it's Isaiah 40:31. But those who trust in the Lord will find new strength. They will soar high on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not faint. That verse became personal because I felt like I was in the waiting. And that became a promise that I could say, okay, God, this is what you say in your word. And I'm going to choose to read this and try to believe it. And then I knew as time moved that I could.
Yeah, we had no say in how quickly he got to us or anything. We literally had to give it to God every single day, multiple times daily, because we couldn't just hop on a plane and go get him.
When we finally got the call that he was coming, there was still a sense of worry. If you've been a part of this process at all with us, you know we've gotten several phone calls or emails saying it was the end and we were going to get him, and then something happened. But this particular time, they said, yes, it's time, book your airfare. Just waiting on him to come through that little area with his escort. I don't even know. My heart was racing. I didn't know how I was going to respond. I was so excited, but then just seeing his little face, it definitely made all of the worry and all of the tears worth it. And now our family is complete. Oh, kiss me again.